Supposedly, Will likes boys. What is up, you beautiful people of Oklahoma, possibly Texas, and the surrounding states?
Wow, Carson.
Are we still rolling? We're still rolling,
Yeah,
aren't we? All right,
that's
what's up,
fine.
people? What's up, guys? Wilson Boyd here with Colin O'Grady. We got a special guest today. We'll talk about him in just a second. We're gonna be covering conference championships this weekend. That's why we had to come back with another quick video. So with us today, Colin. Me and Colin have talked about this before. This is the only time we're ever gonna do this. We've got not only just an OSU fan here with us today, but a avid Texas fan. I'm still pretty sure. And so with OSU and Texas playing this weekend, we felt like it was just right to have none other than CARSON CAPPS on the podcast. How are you doing, Mr. CAPPS?
Pumped to be here. Kind of a weird anomaly being an OU or OSU and Texas fan. Obviously, going to school up here in Stillwater, when you put money somewhere, you're kind of forced to being a fan, but love it up here. But these guys can attest. Grew up a huge UT fan, always going back and forth growing up.
For sure, man. And hey, for those of you that don't know, Will, obviously you and me know, but we're in the presence of a being FFA legend right here. So them boys in Still here paying your school, I imagine. So hey, I don't blame you. I don't blame you for going up there changing shades of orange. For
Yeah.
go ahead and tell people what you got going on, Carson. What you been up to, man?
Oh, not a whole lot. I mean, trying to stay involved, whether that's with different student organizations. I'm in a fraternity up here as well. Got an internship lined up for the spring. So staying pretty hooked up, ready to
Nice.
graduate, hopefully on to law school after that.
Oh, law school. Gonna have
I
a
may be
lawyer in the
needing you one
family.
day. I may be needing you.
Yeah, we'll for sure be needing you one day. There's no doubt. So hey, before we started recording, you were telling us a little bit about the Bedlam game. Why don't you go ahead and show everybody what you got there in your room?
Yeah, just a piece of the goalpost here. I mean, hey, this is like college football history right here.
It is, as much as I hate to say it, man, it is. Why don't you give us a little story on that whole deal? On the storm in the field. You get pepper sprayed or anything?
I did not. So okay, so I uh we have our I got in line about an hour before they opened the gates, and I knew some people that were kind of up towards the front, so I just kind of scooted my way up front. Anyway, got to sit in the front section during the game, which was crazy. After the game, everyone's storming the field, and like beforehand, we all pretty much knew like, hey, if we're winning, the goalposts are coming down. Like no matter what they say, but we're bringing them down. And like after the game, I'm standing by the one like closest to the student section. There's like a couple high posts there, and like there's a couple people that try and hop up, and they're like yanking their shoes off and just chunking them in the crowd, and they're like threatening to arrest people. And I'm like, I'm not hopping up here. Like I am not like risking this to get arrested. And I like waited like 20 or 30 minutes, but then everyone ran down to the other end. And that's where they ended up taking the one down there, which is actually like some scary stuff happened. Like when it came down, a girl got hit in the head, like had to be meta-flighted out to Tulsa. Like multiple people like broke their bones. I mean, like it was crazy,
That wouldn't
crazy.
happen in Norman.
I mean, because you just have this mass of people, and like
Right.
when that thing comes down, I mean, it's got a lot of force with it. And
Hey,
then
and
they took the goalposts and they just marched it out of the stadium to Theta Pond, which is, I mean, it's like a pretty good trek across campus, and they threw it in the pond. All right. So then this is like going on pretty. I mean, it was a 2:30 game. So this is around like right around dark. And then a couple of my buddies, guys in my fraternity, they kind of knew where this goalpost was. And they waited to about like 11:30 to like 1, and they like went out there in the pond and they found it. And
that
like
is
they brought
awesome.
it back. Like you can look up on ESPN, there's an article about like Noah Campbell and Griffin Singleton. And they like went out there and they found this goalpost because Noah's dad was like, hey, like I've got some buddies, like they will pay you for this. So like they started cutting off pieces, and selling them.
What?
That's
I mean, and
crazy.
made quite a bit of cash from it.
Man, that's awesome. But hey, I saw the video and those weren't breakaway goalposts. Like they had to really work to get those things down, man. I was impressed.
Man, I
I
will
mean,
say this though, that they are all. That's how I know Carson's a better person than me because like their probably main goal was to get that goalpost down. If I storm the field, I'm running down there and I am talking shit to one of the players. If to be honest, if I'm at that game, even if I'm an OU fan, I'm going up to Danny Stussman. I'm patting him on the back and I'm saying, "Hey, you're a
Hey,
bitch."
remember
Just let him
remember
know.
me? Remember when you
Let him
wouldn't take a
know.
picture with me?
Nah. So Carson, you're better. You're a better man than I am. That's for sure.
That's
It was,
funny.
it was crazy. I mean, it was crazy too, because like my freshman year, I was there when we got to storm the field too, which I think that holds like a higher place because Lincoln left the very next day.
That was a rough
Which
week for OU fans.
Yeah, it was.
just a couple, I'm like, no better time. Like this is like the peak for like Oklahoma State football. Like we're never gonna get like anything better than this. Like when you're a student here on campus.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
So hey, did you
that's
get to
awesome.
meet? Did you get to meet that running back the other day?
Yeah. So after we win the BYU game, Oklahoma State Athletics sends out an email and they're like, tickets will go on sale Monday morning. Doors open at 6 a.m. to Gallagher Iba, which is our basketball arena, and tickets are starting at 7 o'clock. And there's a like they have like around like 800 to like 1,500 student tickets for a student body of 25,000. So like at 6:30, what me and some of my buddies were like, we've already planned out. We got a couple guys who live in Dallas. We've already planned out like we're gonna go stay with them. And like they're like, we got the tent set up at 7 o'clock. And we were like the sixth or seventh tent there. And then starting by like 10 p.m., like there was probably like a line of like 600 to 700 yards deep of tents, people setting up. And like it was just mad chaos. I mean, it's like 25 degrees outside. And then starting like around like 11:30, like no one really knew what was going on. Neither did like the OSU ticket people. Like they just had to work this, like the higher ups are like, hey, like this is what we're doing. And like they
Uh-huh.
did not think that everyone was going to come out and camp and wait in line for tickets.
So how much was the average student ticket or the
It's
LSU price?
$85 student ticket.
That's not bad at all.
So you
That is
ended
Yeah.
up
not
So
getting
bad.
then
one.
like starting at midnight, uh, they started handing out raffle tickets. Like you get like from a carnival. And like it was like mad, and like they had to like limit us. Like they had to wait, we had to wait for the cops to show up so they could be crowd control. And they would let like 20 people in to the basketball arena at a time and hand us a a raffle ticket and say, come back tomorrow at 6 a.m. and this is how you get your actual ticket. So I got there, like my buddy set the tent up around like 6:37. Like I didn't show up till like 10. I was back home hunting. By the time I got back into Stillwater, it's like 9, 10 o'clock. I get there. I didn't get my little raffle ticket deal till like 1:30. And I was like one of the first like 200 to 300 people to get like a raffle ticket. And then I came back again at 5:30 to wait in line and got my like signed my name on like a little notebook at like 7 o'clock and didn't
That's
get my actual
crazy. I
ticket till
saw
this
I saw a
morning.
TikTok about that. I just didn't. Hearing it from a different perspective is
Yeah.
crazy.
And then like some of the football players like were coming and we were in line and Ollie Gordon like ran up, like dabbed some of us up and interviewed one of my buddies. It was pretty crazy. Like definitely like kind of just like a one of a kind college experience moment.
Yeah, that's
For
awesome.
sure.
So you did secure the ticket then?
I did 13th row.
That's awesome, man.
Wow.
Well, golly, with you in the crowd, OSU might stand a chance. So what do you think about that game coming up Saturday? Give us some of your thoughts. Is it gonna be a win-win for you, or are you pulling for one side or the other?
I mean, I honestly do see it as a win-win. I think Texas, they last won a Big 12 championship. I was 7 years old.
Yeah,
I
it's been
mean, it was Colt McCoy back in the day, like the OG,
yep.
and then, but honestly, like when you think about this, like OSU's kind of owned Texas the last like 10 years or so. But then you look at this OSU team now, you look at what Texas has done with Sark this year, Quinn Ewers leading the way. I think like realistic expectation, like Texas, like prediction, like off the bat, like Texas is probably going to win by about 10. Like that's what I think. But I think this can be a dogfight just because I know uh, OSU has nothing to lose in this game. And that's when we play our best. Like I was talking to one of my football players in a few of my classes, and we've gotten pretty close. And I was like, well, what do you think about Saturday? He's like, honestly, I feel a lot better about the game against Texas than I did against BYU. He's like, but I'm not surprised. Like if we get beat by 40, like it could happen.
That's wild. I will say this about OSU. I don't know if it's grit or toughness or just pure blind luck, but you can't count those guys out of a game as you saw against, OU. They were down big to Houston, came back and win. Down big to BYU, come back and win. So, I mean, they turned it around this year. So there's no telling what's going to happen. But from a talent standpoint, they're outmatched Saturday for sure. I think we can all agree on that.
What sucks is like, Colin, I'm sure you have probably more mature of OSU friends, and like Carson is like he's a good OSU fan. Like
Right.
if every OSU fan was like Carson, I could stand him.
But
But
they're
like
not.
I have friends here, like I think one of them's actually in my house. I think he's in the living room, son of a bitch. But the people here, they're the most obnoxious. Like it has gotten so bad. I have never wanted Texas to win a game than I do this week coming up. Like, no offense, Carson, which I know you're deep down, because I remember in like first, second grade, you were a diehard Texas fan, and I hated you for it, but I loved you at the same time. So I think it's Texas is gonna win. Colin, what I say Sunday was it 49-17, something
I
like
got it
that?
right here. You got
Like 42-17.
42-17.
42-17. Carson's got the facts, man. I can't give OSU any. I just can't. I'm just sick to my stomach.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking like last year, like when they played in Stillwater last year, like Quinn played awful. And the thing about like Bowman now, like, you go out, like all your parents say, like, hey, like be safe, have a good time. Like Alan Bowman is that guy, like for a quarterback, he's the be safe guy. Like he's not gonna do anything stupid. And like I think like we're gonna try and limit our special teams has normally been really good this year, like knock on wood for Oklahoma State. So like I think that'll keep us at least in the game. And then, you get to the second half with the close game, like who knows what's gonna happen. Ollie Gordon, probably the best running back in America right now. I think he plays a big role, but Texas's front obviously is going to be, pretty comparable to like what OU, like one of the best fronts Oklahoma State's going to be facing. So, I mean, Ollie got shut down against UCF, and then like shut down the first half against BYU, but then just goes off second half. Like we're going to have Oklahoma State will have to have a fast start because if they start slow, then Texas is going to run them out of the building.
So, Carson, let me ask you this. With the scenario of Texas winning and getting in, does that kind of beat every other outcome like that you can probably like think of? Because I mean, with them, I really want to see them get in just because I think they're a really good football team, which I'm catching backlash from my family still for picking them to beat OU. And so I don't know. I just felt good about Texas all year. So
I think you did it on this podcast, bro.
I did.
I mean,
I did. Yeah.
I mean, for me personally, like outcome, really, like I just want like a good game to watch. I do not want it to be a blowout, since I'm there in person. Obviously I'd be super psyched for Oklahoma State to win because they'd be headed to a New Year's Six bowl. But then like with Texas wins, like they're having a really good chance making it to the playoff, dependent on everything else that happens, which is kind of crazy this year. Probably like the most crazy scenarios of like every conference championship having like a big impact on the playoff, which is super exciting for college football fans, but who knows what the committee's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, have you ever been down to Jerry World, Carson?
I was there in 2021 when we were, just a few inches away from making it.
That was heartbreaking, man. That one was even hard for me to watch a little bit, but I mean, not really because I despise OSU. But man, my heart goes out to you for being at that one. But Jerry World is an impressive place, man.
It is. Cowboys playing right now.
Yeah, they're.
And I'm not even watching. Oh my God!
2020 in the fourth quarter, and Seattle was about to score last time I saw. But I'm in here with the Thunder game on. They won. They beat the Lakers 133-110. But hey, like y'all were talking before earlier about all these conference championships having big implications on the CFP. Me and Will have been giving our CFP picks. Carson, I'd be interested to hear yours. What do you think's gonna happen this week between OSU and Texas? And if certain things play out, who do you got in your top four? going
My
forward?
top four, I have the Dogs
Okay.
beating Bama just because I'm like, you can't pick. I'm not going to pick against Georgia with how successful they've been the past 2 or 3 years.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Until they prove me otherwise, I'm not going to pick against them, especially with Alabama getting beat by Texas and looking very shaky against Auburn, needing some good mojo there, which is just a crazy, crazy. I was watching that live, like
That was crazy.
right after the OSU game. I was like, oh my gosh, like Auburn's about to win, and then Milrow with like the 4th and 31. Like, wow, are we
Right.
rushing 2 guys? Crazy. But I think Georgia is going to win that game. I would not be surprised at all if Bama won, but I think that game is probably going to be about as close as the OSU Texas game, in my opinion. It'll be pretty close first half, and Georgia will probably end up winning somewhere between like 10 to 14. So, crazy turnover or special teams play could swing that in Bama's way, but I think Georgia's got that right there. Obviously, Michigan is going to roll over Iowa. Iowa's offense
Yeah.
is like watching old Lada basketball offense, with the dribble handoffs.
Oh,
Like,
dude, I
it's
had to
just
guard
like
it for 4
painful.
years, man. I know
Hey, they may
exactly
be
what you're
some
talking
of
about.
our fans. Y'all need to chill
Hey,
out,
no,
bro.
look, Adam Jordan, shout out Adam, bro. He
Shout out
watches
Adam
every
Jordan.
every week, bro. He's what, they won state twice while he was there, 2 or 3 times. My first ever game against Lada, it was 40-8 at halftime. I was a freshman, so they handed it to us pretty good.
Boys could hoop, but it is like Big Ten offense.
That's right. It was like watching paint dry a little bit.
Yeah, so I got Georgia, Michigan 1 and 2, and then I have the winner of the Pac-12, Oregon, Washington, which I
So
think Oregon will end up winning that game.
really,
I think Landing kind of made some mistakes coaching wise. I mean, they were 0 for 3 on like 4th down that
right?
first matchup, missed the game tying field goal as kind of time expired. I got Bo Nix having a big game, kind of leading to his Heisman win.
No, absolutely
Wow,
not.
hot take.
Oh,
Not really
okay.
a
We're
Hot
hot
giving him a
take.
take.
nickname. Congratulations.
Hey,
I
Will,
think
you remember?
it took me 2 episodes. It just took you about 10 minutes.
Hey, you remember week 5 when you were saying that Caleb Williams was going to run away with the Heisman?
Never said that.
You 1000% said that. We'll go
Yeah,
look
it's
at the
better.
receipts.
Listen. Did I expect their season to go how it went? No. Am I surprised? No. Um,
Are we
I
happy
actually,
about it?
it's a little hypocritical. We're getting off topic a little bit, but we'll worry about it later. But that's crazy. I mean, I can see. I think I'm a big Michael Penix guy, though. Big dude. And I'm not a fan of Bo Nix because the guy's like 42. So
So are we still counting out Jaden Daniels for the Heisman?
I mean,
He's
I just
got
don't think Daniels has the best stats by far, but I don't think he has that Heisman moment.
right.
And like looking back in the past, like when has one of the Heisman winners like not been playing this weekend or
Right.
like have that iconic moment, everyone
do
talks
you think the
about?
winner of the Pac-12 championship, the quarterback, do you think whoever wins it, that guy's going to win the Heisman?
Most likely, like 90% chance.
I'd
I
say
mean,
that's a fair
Penix
take.
kind of had his moment with the game winning drive against Oregon. And if he beats him again, I think that seals the deal for him. But I have Bo Nix coming in.
So who you got in your 4th spot? So you got Georgia, Michigan, Oregon. Who you got taking that 4th spot?
I got Florida State winning and taking it. And I think it'll be between them and Texas, but I don't see how there's any way the committees, even though that Travis is hurt for Florida State, there's no way they're
Right.
going to not put an undefeated conference champ in the game. I think it'll be a close game against Louisville, but I think Florida State will pull it out, kind of sneak in there.
Yeah, and
It's
I
not what
think
I want to happen. I want them to lose because I would love to see Texas or if Bama loses, who knows what's gonna or wins, who knows what's gonna happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what happens if Bama wins, Texas wins, and Florida State wins? It's just going to be a mess, I think. So there's a lot that could go down this weekend, but I totally agree. If Florida State wins, they should get in. You don't leave an undefeated conference champ out. I know they don't have their guy, but still obviously a very good football team. It's hard to win week in and week out, and they've done it 12 weeks in a row now. So
Let's think of an unlikely situation for a second. Okay, we're not trying to be like every other freaking podcast saying all these things. Okay, let's say LSU beats Texas. Okay,
hey, I've been having Alabama.
let's say let's say Louisville beats Florida State.
Okay.
Let's say Michigan's gonna win. That one's not. I don't think. Who do they play? Who do they play?
Iowa.
Michigan, they play Iowa.
Yeah, no, they're not gonna lose that game. Okay. Alabama beats Georgia. And then so you'll have Michigan in, and then the winner of Oregon and Washington. So who are the other two?
Okay, well, here's what I'll say about Florida State. This is not based off of anything. This is just me talking. But I think since Jordan Travis went down, that the committee is probably looking for any reason they can to keep them out.
Yeah.
So if they lose to Louisville, I think they're definitely out, even with there being other one-loss teams. So if Alabama beats Georgia, I think that they'll get in, especially if Florida State loses, because they were shaky last week against Auburn, but their one loss was Texas, which you know how the committee loves quality losses. And then other than the Auburn game, they've looked pretty good every week after that. So I would not be shocked to see Alabama get in. And then, like Carson was talking about, winner of the Pac-12 is getting in for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. There's so many teams between 4 and 8. You could interchange a lot of those teams getting in.
In that case, you're looking at either the loser of the Pac-12 championship game, if it's Washington.
That's fair.
They'd be one loss. If Oregon loses, there's no way they're getting in. But like with the scenario if Louisville, Oklahoma State win, I think there's a pretty good chance that they would still, and Bama wins, there's a pretty good chance if that's a close Bama-Georgia game, that I think they would keep Georgia in.
Yeah, they would look for every reason to put two SEC teams in if they could.
So say that Alabama wins by, we'll say like 10, okay? Say Texas blows out Oklahoma State this weekend, and say Florida State loses. Who gets the 4th spot? And does Georgia stay in if they get beat by Alabama?
In that case, I think Texas gets in because Texas is just going to ride Bama to the top.
Yeah, that win in was it in Austin? It was in Tuscaloosa, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's no way that they can put Bama in over Texas if Bama and Texas win.
Right.
Because that goes against everything that they've like done in the past, and that's just like what are they here for?
No, I agree. It's almost like they got like a tiebreaker against Alabama if it comes down to that. But it'll be interesting to see how everything plays out for sure this weekend. So, Willie, you got any more thoughts on that?
No, but I did get some information on Josh Giddey, which even makes me even more pissed off, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. Carson, did you watch the last episode? You keep up with that, don't you?
A little bit,
Josh Giddey scandal.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there've been.
Okay.
I've been in a lot of group chats, a lot of memes of Josh Giddey being sent.
So I thought this happened in Oklahoma. This happened. Did it happen in California?
I think so. I think that's what's.
So you're telling me this dude is on the West Coast and he's again settling for the average, typical. Like, am I wrong, Carson? Does Oklahoma State's majority of the girls, are they not blonde hair, blue eyes?
Yeah.
Crazy bitch. Yes, and it's the same way here. It's I don't get it, man. But I have heard some stuff. I think he's gonna be all right. So,
well, one thing that's weird about that is, like we already said where we stand on it last week, so I don't think we have to get into that again. But it is weird that the parents aren't cooperating with the police.
Probably because she had a fake.
How much money do we think they're getting?
Well, here's the thing: is will they get?
She's of age.
Will they get money if it turns out that she was lying? You know, that they did meet in the club and she was lying about her age.
I would sue the piss out of them.
I don't know. It's kind of a sticky situation. I'm glad I'm not in his shoes. I can't imagine the stress he's under right now. But no, the memes they're all over the place. I'm getting my fair share of them because everyone knows I'm a Thunder fan.
Some of those are high quality memes too, dude. They are funny.
Some of them are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. But especially all the betting ones, you know, when they got the line at like 15.5, everyone's taking the under. It's ridiculous, man. But.
Well, so are we covering any more? I feel like as much as we talked about the conference champion, I feel like we covered a lot of sports talk.
I agree.
So I think it's fair, and if y'all want to talk about something else before we move on to this, let me know. So I told y'all, since it's getting closer, we probably could have pushed this back a little bit, but it dawned on me this morning as I was absolutely jamming out to it. We're gonna, since it's the holiday season now.
Hey,
I'm curious
Tomorrow
to
is
see.
December 1st, bro. How crazy is that?
Hey, it's December 1st, but guess what? It'll be Christmas before we know it.
That's
So
crazy.
I want to do it right now. So give me top 5 Christmas songs.
Okay, we're going Christmas songs first.
We're going
Carson,
Christmas.
since
We have to finish with the hot
all right,
takes.
all right. Carson, since you're our honored guest, man, why don't you kick us off?
Okay, top five. I think
Yes.
classic Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. That's got to
Classic.
be there.
Classic.
I have it's the most wonderful time of the year. For me, that's just another like classic. Michael
Okay.
Bublé's It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. I mean, I feel like that's something I just grew up on. I mean, you got to have it in there. Next, I have the Christmas song, which is like starts off with like the chestnuts roasting on an open fire. I feel like
Classic.
there's so many just classic Christmas songs. It's hard to pick. And then for my last one, I went with it's kind of a toss up for me between Oh Holy Night or Little Drummer Boy. So those are kind of two of my favorite, like more like gospel centered Christmas songs. But I'm like, you got to have one of those in your top five.
I like it. I like it.
Fair enough.
Here's what I have to ask both of y'all because before Will transferred, we all went to Bing together. So how many of those songs you think we sang in a
Every
Janis Presley,
single one of them.
Janis
Dude.
Presley
Miss
Christmas
Presley
program,
was the
man?
GOAT.
I would give a lot of money to go back and watch one of those videos.
Oh yeah,
right now.
yeah. No, hey, we put on a show, man. We put on a show. Don't let anybody
but like
fool you.
we worked hard though. Like
We
every
did.
time, like we were grinding it when we
We
had
did.
class, man.
I love it. Shout out Miss Presley. Shout out Parker. I don't know if Parker watches or not, but he should. But Will, you want to go? Or you want me to take
I
it?
think you want to go. I'd like to finish it off because I know you're not gonna like my answers.
Let me just give a little disclaimer that you're gonna hate me, man, but I'm not the biggest Christmas fan.
That's fine.
It's
That's okay.
okay. My favorite holiday is the 4th of July. I bleed red, white, and blue. That's just me. There's nothing better than fireworks, hot dogs, sitting in a pool all day. But Christmas songs, this is just my opinion. Carson's
perfectly fine.
Carson's was a very valid, like top 5. These are the top. I agree with his list. Great list. Classics. But this is just my opinion, okay? Number 5, I got here a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Because, the Jim Carrey movie is hilarious. And that song, that scene is hilarious. Number 4, I got Feliz Navidad. I'm half Hispanic on my mother's side, so I threw that one in there. Number 3, I got Carol of the Bells, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra one, the super hard rock one.
Fair.
Number 2, I have Please Come Home for Christmas by the Eagles. That one's slept on. That one's a little underrated, in my opinion. And I threw some honorable mentions in there, Will. So, and Carson, my apologies, but honorable mentions, I have All I Want for Christmas Is You, Mariah Carey. You can't have a Christmas song list without putting that one on there. Christmas Time Is Here from A Charlie Brown's Christmas because it makes me think of my grandma. And then Let It Snow by Frank Sinatra, classic. But here coming in my number 1 song by none other than the king himself, Elvis Presley. I got Blue Christmas coming in.
Good pick.
Number 1
Classic.
Christmas song.
Carson, do you wanna throw some honorable mentions out there before I get going?
Ooh.
I'll give you 3 since Colin went above and beyond.
I mean, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree is
Classic.
one that just comes off. And then I feel like Santa Claus Is Coming to Town, another honorable mention. I'm trying to think, golly, there's so many Christmas songs. Like it's like a flood of Miss Presley's Christmas songs coming in my head right now. And how about Silent Night?
Silent Night, gotta love it.
Fair. Okay, so I told mom, I ate with mom and them before this, and I kind of gave them a little grand scheme of things. For my honorable mentions, I didn't even write them down. I'll just go, Feliz Navidad. That's a great one. I love when any chance that I can somewhat speak any kind of Spanish, I'm all for it. And so that is a great one. And let's go. So Bryson Tiller, R&B artist.
Okay.
2 years ago, around November, he dropped a Christmas album. And so he has a song called Be Mine This Christmas. If you don't listen to R&B, you're missing out. But y'all should definitely go give it a listen because I know for a fact, more than likely, both of y'all have never heard that song before. So Anyways, with my number 5 pick, I have Last Christmas by Wham. I believe that's who it was by. Crystal used to engrave that in my brain. There's another one, Fa La La. It's by Boys to Men featuring or Justin Bieber featuring Boys to Men. Absolute banger. We have It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas by Bing Crosby. And All I Want for Christmas Is You at 2. And then number 1. So you'll learn that I'm a big avid Chris Brown fan. I would do a lot of things for that man. If you have a problem with him because supposedly he hit Rihanna, shove it. Don't care.
Not supposedly. He 100% did that.
It depends. Depends who you ask. Depends who you ask. If you ask me, he didn't do it. But anyways, This Christmas by Chris Brown is coming in at my number 1 spot, and it just makes me feel some kind of way.
All right, I respect that. I like that. You know, it was very, very original list.
I think I'm proud of both of y'all's list, and even Colin for you not being a Christmas huge fan. Really good list.
Yeah, you gotta respect good music.
We put all of these on a Christmas playlist. I mean, Apple's giving us some money right now.
I agree. 100%.
Spotify,
100%.
we're getting a check.
I can go ahead. I'll watch this later. I will make a Spotify playlist of all of our songs, and I'll post it out there. And if y'all want it, y'all can have it.
All right, man. That sounds good. But hey, who's starting the cool on you hot takes?
Okay, so I just think, we go one by one, like just boom, I go, you go, Carson goes until we're done, okay?
All right.
So if you're late to the news, we have a new segment. It's called Cool on You Podcast. Cool on You stands for you don't like it. So like the names Colin names our Zoom calls. Cool on him. Do not like the names. He gives the Zoom calls. Anyway, so
why don't you give him the one I named it today?
Supposedly Will likes boys. It's cool. Anyways, so we'll go ahead. Colin, do you want to start? You want me to start?
Sure,
I'll go ahead and I'll start and let y'all two go after that. So y'all are I can't wait to hear what y'all got to say. So anyway, today I'll just get the first one out of the way. If you make loud noises, unnecessary noises at the gym, cool on you.
Good.
Unless you're absolutely pushing yourself to the max, I shouldn't look over in your curling 20s and you're screaming like you're tearing something.
No, that's good. That's good. Gym etiquette. We're all for that on this show. But Carson, you want to go or you want me to take it?
I can go. If you posted your Apple Replay or Spotify Wrapped, cool on you. I do not
cool
care.
On you, bro.
Okay.
Cool on
I do
you.
not care. And something that just gets me going is like I see all these girls, like these sorority girls, like Zach Bryan's like their number one. I'm like, I know for a fact they did not start listening to him like since the past year, And I'm like, all these people like jumping on the bandwagon. It just gets me going,
All right.
100%.
No, I love that. Love to see Carson with his blood pumping, dude, man. That's funny. But hey, for my first cool on you hot take, I'm sticking with the music theme, Carson. And I got people with no music taste. And I'm not talking about bad music taste, okay? Because, this is a free country. You listen to whatever you want. I might not like it, but if it gets your rocks off, more power to you. But the people who sit there and they just like don't care about music, man, and they'll just turn on whatever. I don't understand that, man.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get behind those people. If you have no music taste, if there's not just one genre of music that you go to that you like, cool on you.
Yeah. And
you're lame.
Something's wrong with you, to be honest.
Honestly.
So we're about to run out of time here, but for my second one, I don't know if y'all own these, but I personally don't own these, but I've tried them twice from friends and they suck. AirPod Pros. Doesn't matter if they're 2, 3 Maxes, they suck. They will not stay in my ear, and I have never been more upset using a piece of Apple equipment. It's a horrible, horrible experience.
All right, my next one. If you're from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, cool on you. I really don't care. You might as well call it the University of Texas in Norman or the University of Texas in Fayetteville, the University of Texas in Stillwater. There's so many DFW people around the place, and they let you know about it. And I'm just tired of it. Cool on you.
Hey, good thing you're not like going there anytime soon, right? Like
yeah.
All right, my second cool on you take. It's not really about a person in general, just like a thing that happens, but being freshly showered, smelling good, feeling clean, and having to poop right after you shower.
Oh,
One of the
man.
worst things.
I didn't even think about that. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Man. All right. Oh, y'all want to go 2 more apiece, or y'all got plenty more?
I got 2 more.
All right, good. All right, so this one is good because it reminds me every day that y'all don't have to deal with this as much because y'all got out of Ada, but the driving here is horrible. But it follows up with, I'm going to become a politician and I'm going to get this law approved. If you're over the age of 75, until the day you die, every single year you have to go take your driver's test again, and you're going to be graded as if you were a 16-year-old kid about to get your license for the first time. Because I'm sick and tired. And somebody told me the other day that I'm starting to preach a little bit, and let me preach for you. Let me preach to you one time, real quick. I'll get out of the way real quick. I am sick and tired of trailing a geriatric son of a gun when I'm late to work, which I know that's my fault. I'm late to work, but I ain't got to follow no 82-year-old granny and probably in some crazy souped up car because apparently that's what they want to do. But I'm gonna get off my soap opera. But if you're over the age of 75, every single year, driver's
That's
test.
good. That's a good take. I agree with that.
Okay, next one. If you like Norman more than Stillwater, cool on you.
All right, we're just gonna
So if
skip
you
over.
prefer
We're just gonna
living
skip
in
over that
Norman
one real
over
Yeah.
fast.
Stillwater, cool on you. I mean, Stillwater is a much more small town feel, a lot nicer people.
All right, we'll let it slide just because you go to school there, whatever. You're a good friend of ours, but we'll let it slide. My third cool on you take is the TV show Friends.
No,
One of the
dude.
most overrated,
No.
unfunny shows of all time. If you
He
took the
just
laugh,
died. He
dude,
just
rest
died.
in peace, rest in peace, Matthew Perry. But your show stinks. No offense. So if you went back and took all the laugh tracks out of that show, I don't think anyone would
Hey,
laugh at it.
that is why we call it cool on you, hot takes, because some of these are hot takes. That's fine. My last one. If you post your Cash App on any of your socials on your birthday, I'm cool on you, man.
That's a good one. That's a
So
good one.
fair. I'm out, but hey, I got one. People who just jaywalk when I know the deal's about to go on, that drives me nuts. Like, especially like right when the light's about to change, the walk sign on sign is about to come on. Like, come on, just wait a few more seconds.
Just hit him.
Yeah, just hit him next time, Carson. All right, last one I got. If a great poet once said that real G's move in silence like lasagna, okay? And that great poet was, Tunchi, Lil Wayne, Wheezy. We all love him. We all know him. If you post your pump pictures when you're at the gym, I'm so cool on you, bro. I'm so cool on you. You get in there with the lighting, and
I feel like you're talking to me. I'm
bro.
I'm having to backtrack, make sure I don't do this.
You go work out, bro. Get in, get out. In the summertime, take your shirt off, whatever. Of course, you're gonna look good when you have a pump, bro. And you're going to the freaking gym bathroom and take you a pump picture. That's not what it's about, bro. Real G's move in silence, bro. We don't post pump pictures. Cool on you.
Man,
That's all I got.
Y'all did a absolutely great job, boys. I did a fantastic job. I was expecting a lot from y'all. Y'all went here. So
We're gonna have to raise the bar
Colin,
next week.
do you want to wrap it up real quick?
Yeah, man. Carson, thanks for coming on, man. It's good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a long time, but good luck with your endeavors, man. Good luck with law school. And I'm not gonna say go Pokes or Hook 'em Horns this week. I hope they both lose. No offense. I love you, but I hate them. But that's all we got for you. Everybody, stay safe out there. Peace out.